there are some people who take it to the highest level and they're just not, let me say it this way, they're tone deaf or they're not self-aware, right? But in the example you just gave, a person could be categorized as self-righteous when they're really misunderstood. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is this: self-righteousness is despised even way back in the time of Jesus Christ, and from the biblical perspective. And he shunned the Pharisees. He shunned a lot of people who were self-righteous. And it'll make sense when I give a definition of what it is. But self-righteous indignation is when people put other people down or make them feel bad about themselves for no reason. So if I have a thought or an idea,
that's no good.
or if I have an opinion, excuse me?
No, I was
I just said putting people down for no reason. I said that's no good. Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah. But that's a characteristic of what self-righteousness is, and it'll make more sense in a few minutes. For example, if a self-righteous person is this: if someone does not believe the same way as someone else, they may be labeled, and most self-righteous people label people, which is judging, and we're not supposed to be judgmental, label them as ignorant or stupid because they don't hold the same views. So if you look at cults, you look at small groups of people who have the same ideology and beliefs about a certain thing. Those people look at other people indifferent.
I think for the most part, when you talk about those kind of people, I found that they are very arrogant, and when you talk about understanding or people looking for understanding, they don't want understanding of anything. They just want it their way, and that's it.
Yeah, that stuff is wild. Well, like we go that angle. That's a whole that's some wild card. Yeah.
And usually when they've hurt your feelings, or I don't mean you specifically, but like usually when people like that have hurt your feelings, or if you just say, okay, yeah, you're right, yeah, I know I'm right, that kind of thing. So I mean, it's kind of like a battle that you're not gonna win. And I found that a lot of people like that too want, like, if you say something, they're gonna make sure to say, well, no, because on this day and this fact states, and they try to pull out stats, statistics, and numbers, and and really make you feel. Because sometimes I'd be like, maybe maybe you too stupid for my conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I used to be like when I come in contact with people like that. I used to be like, oh, maybe I'm too stupid for this conversation. But now I turn it around and be like, maybe you're just a little too stupid for my conversation, and not to mean it in a bad way, but those kind of people will really make you go there, because usually they're used to people being, afraid of them or cowered down, because they start pulling out these things which they say are factual or numbers, when in actuality it's not that. It's just an intimidation tactic. So I mean, that's just me.
Yeah. So when we speak about self-righteous people, they normally have a standard which dates back and is based on biblical principle. So that's what they form their basis on, because we're talking about morality. Morality is a set of laws that govern society or groups of people. All right. So when we have self-righteous people, they have these views, but they're not acting on spiritual maturity, because if they were, they would know no one is superior. No matter how much knowledge you have, how much information you have, of what materials you have, no one is superior than any other person. Morality refers to what society sanctions as being right and acceptable. Right? Now, I'm not saying, you all know I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I was religious for a lot of years because I was reared by my parents, as we all are. But as I became a grown man and started discovering and
I need
well,
to tell you something about that. So, okay, I'm not gonna name this
you just
person.
gonna interrupt me.
Yeah, because
Go
you
ahead.
said what I okay. So I said that to this person. I was like, well, I'm pretty much spiritual, this, that, and the third. So because they are who they are, oh, I think that's just a way for people to negate what God is speaking about and what. And I'm like, I mean, they literally went there. And the only reason I had to cut y'all because it had hit me, and I had to tell y'all a little something. And I was looking at this person like to say like, where do you get that from? So because I'm telling you that I'm spiritual over factual or quotes, you're telling me that it's not right because I just want to dismiss what is written when whatever is written was written for that particular time. Doesn't mean that it can't necessarily apply to what I'm talking about now, but it just was not written to fit where I'm at right now. So they
Well,
said,
well,
well,
well. The
they were
thing
right.
is this: before you cut me out, but I'm glad you got your point because I know you would have. You did it because you didn't want to forget it. I
Yeah,
get
right.
it. Yeah? Okay, but here we go. Number one, spirituality is being closer. So if someone were to say that to you, then they have their belief heavily embedded in a type of religion, whether it be Christianity, Buddhism, Jehovah Witnesses, Jewish, whatever it is. That's their belief. So what we're trying to get to a point where all people understand that we all uh, honor and worship the same God. There is no other person or entity, whether or not we know his name or we call him a different name. There's no other entity that governs the entire universe. So I'm not speaking to atheists. They believe as they believe until they become enlightened, as we do Masonically. So the bottom line is that when we have people that are talking about, okay, well, you're saying that because you don't want to adapt to certain principles or you don't believe as I believe. That's their self-righteousness. You can't listen to society anymore because they are way confused. And you are absolutely right. You are